Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn, welcome back. This is part 3 of the 4-part series that I promised the mutable signs that I would do. If you are cross-watching, I did do 4 series on mutable as well. So if you're looking for your particular person, so Gemini, Sagittarius, Virgo, or Pisces, that is available also. I will not timestamp these. I am not doing an individual reading. I'm doing a collective reading for Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. I wanted to do this because I feel like these energies all share similarities, and we are entering into the 12-12 portal. So I thought it'd be really cool just to see, how these energies reflect upon each other. If there's something that you resonate, cool. If not, don't try to force any of the readings. Like I said, it's just energy. But there's always something to learn, right? So stick around. I am a smoker. I do smoke cigarettes, and I drink a hell of a lot of coffee. So if you are a smoker and coffee drinker, tea, beer, whiskey, wine, whatever the heck you are, grab some. We'll read the cards, and we'll see what is in the energy. Like I said, just take what resonates. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes the energy is all over the place. I do not have my camera set up so you can watch me shuffle the cards, but I assure you I'm shuffling. I'm not trying to clickbait anybody here. So let's get into the reading and find out what is going on. Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. The other 2 readings were pretty interesting. If you want to check those out, I'm going to leave those in the video description at the end of this video. They were pretty interesting. The last one was good. One before that, really good. So check them out. All right, so nothing's coming out, but I'm going to go ahead and pull for us here. We have the 8 of Swords, the illusion card. I say illusion because those bindings that are on that particular person right there, we aren't going to go gender specific because, like I said, it's just energy. It's an illusion. They're very easily undone. You can pull that, you can pull those bandages off. You can pull that blindfold off really easily and turn right around and walk towards that castle. So, what we're talking about right now is just this kind of an illusion that you're stuck, illusion that you're in a particular position. We could be talking about communication signs here, Gemini, perhaps, I don't know. But the illusion that something is fixed in place. So we're going to keep on going to see what's bound you up. Why are we bound? The moon has been very, very tricky for me here lately. I'm a Pisces, so I associate with the moon. Allergies and weather shifting and everything else, along with this moon that felt really heavy, but the last 3 days was really heavy, but then it started to lighten up. So I think we're moving back into that, quarter crescent or waxing gibbous. I'm not sure. Okay, nothing's coming out. I'm gonna go ahead and pull again. Okay, Wheel of Fortune. We could be entering a cycle. We could be ending a cycle. This feels pretty heavy that you're in this cycle right now. And I say that because of the 8 of Swords. And I just mentioned that we are in that moon phase shift. So, we could be talking about Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius, Taurus energies. I don't really like to call those out right off the bat, but they could be. Let's see if I can get anything else here that'd be interesting to know. Just a cycle. It's interesting that there are lots of, in fact, I will start doing more information on the individual cards, but for right now I'm not going to. But the Wheel of Fortune card has a lot of information in it. So what cycle are we in? Are we leaving? Are we moving? Are we entering? What do we need to know here? Like I said, you're bound up. So I feel like this is just a cycle that's continuing maybe. Yeah. Okay. So then we had the Devil card show up. This is Capricorn, by the way. Doesn't mean you're a bad person, Capricorn. Doesn't mean anything like that. And if you know tarot, you know that's not the case. But the major arcana card, the Devil, is associated with Capricorn. And we are about to move into Capricorn season. So this could be applying pretty specific like to particular Capricorn. But since it followed the Wheel of Fortune, there is a cycle that you have been chained to that is either ending or beginning of a cycle. And since I've seen that Eight of Swords, you know what's a little too early. I'm going to let the next card kind of decide that. What energy is that needs to come through? What are we chained to? You know, the Devil card could represent, you know, addictions, could represent emotions that you have not let go of. It doesn't necessarily always have to indicate, you know, some evil source or anything like that. The Devil card is very telling. In fact, I'm appreciative of that card. I love that card because it sometimes lets us know or helps us pay attention. You know, the Devil exposes those things that we have been bound to. Okay. Got a few cards that popped out here. Okay. First card, Seven of Swords. This is a sneaky card, okay? You notice that there's two swords stuck in the ground and he's walking away or sneaking away with the other five. It's a vindictive card. Following the Devil card. So there is some kind of energy here that seems really sneaky, vindictive. Perhaps now we can look at maybe that you know, this person here, this page type of younger energy, youthful type of energy, kind of feels like trickery, like an illusion of some kind. Yeah, I'm gonna keep rolling. The next card that came out was the Page of Wands. Okay, Page of Wands reminds me of romance. Somebody could have had an affair. Somebody could be attempting to have an affair, sneak around to have an affair. He's the romancer. Okay, look how he's dressed. Rico Suave, Rico Suave. Yeah, that's kind of an older tune. You might have to look that one up, but yeah. And hey, I'm not judging. Sometimes that stuff is kind of fun to sneak around. It brings that energy back, you know. And like I did say, there is kind of a youthful newness about it. So maybe there's something a little taboo about this situation. Okay, with the Page of Wands, the next card to come out, right? Four of Cups. You know, you're focusing on these three scenarios here. Look how he's staring down at them and disregarding that hand coming from the cloud. There's an offering there that's in front of them. And like I said, this kind of represents to me this offering of temptation with that Devil card. So I'm not judging. I'm actually kind of excited to hear what's happening. Then we have the World card again. Okay, it's a cycle, right? We had the Wheel of Fortune and we had the World. They both talk about cycles. Okay, this is a repetitive cycle. So there could be some kind of a temptation that keeps coming back to you, keeps coming around, and you're still entertaining it. Doesn't necessarily have to be, like I said, a drug addiction or anything like this. I'm getting more relationship when we had the Page of Wands show up, right? So it feels like a little bit of forbidden fruit, right? But with the World, so I'm seeing maybe you're seeing that this is a cycle. Something has been repeating itself over and over again, perhaps. And I said that because you're bound up with the Eight of Swords as your very first card. So this has got you bound up. So where are we going with this? Who needs to know what? Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn. Who is this for? Where's this going? Maybe that's the question. Where is this going? Is this leading anywhere? Sometimes we can get into these kind of a relationship where we, you know, maybe it's a sexual relationship. Maybe that's, you know, just a pure and simple. Maybe this is a relationship with an addiction of some kind. And you're starting to see the cycle of it. And you're wondering, or you're kind of in the middle of it going, you know, is it going to end? Am I just going to keep repeating this? All right. Could be a third-party situation involved here. Doesn't have to be. The Three of Pentacles talks about, you know, the guy on the soapbox right there, giving out a little bit of information, and the two are, you know, paying attention and they are collaborating. So this is a collaboration. Excuse me. I'm not really seeing third party yet, but it could be outside sources that are maybe somebody knows something about this situation. And maybe with the 7 of Swords that we had come out, right? Maybe there is some gossip taking place. I see that with the 3 of Pentacles. Could be gossip. It doesn't have to be. But I'm kind of feeling like there's some kind of a collaboration that may or may not be taking place. I don't know. Interesting read, though. Really cool. Like I said, if you are a cross watcher and you're looking for your person, go check out the mutable signs. If your person's Aries, Cancer, Libra, not Aries, Cancer, it's Gemini, Sagittarius, Virgo, Pisces. But if you're looking for those particular signs, and you might go check them out, because it's very interesting, especially with the third party. That means a little bit more than what you think. So we'll try one more time here. This collaboration, who's collaborating? Okay. We have the Death. Okay. The Death exposes that which we are incapable of doing ourselves sometimes. I'm surprised we're not seeing the Tower here, but with the Devil card in the mix, I'm going to say that you're wondering whether or not you need to put an end to this. Okay. This is a very purified spiritual type card. The white horse, the white lotus on the flag right there, talking about divine spirituality. Okay. And maybe, with the bishop down there, focusing upwards towards, the bringer of the death, he's well aware that, here's an old phrase, the sun shines on a dog's butt sometimes too. So it doesn't matter, good, evil, death comes to everything, especially when we see the world card, so cycles. So it appears to be an ending of this cycle, and maybe what you're looking for is there any commitment involved in this relationship, if that's what this is. It seems to be just sexually orientated, or it doesn't have to be that case, but it just seems like maybe you're wanting to know, is this gonna go anywhere? Are we going to reciprocate? Is this going to be a mutual thing, right? With the 3 of Pentacles that showed up. So that may be the question in your head, wondering, hey, this is well and good, but does it go any further? Or is this it? Right? Like I said, a little specific may not apply to everybody, but if it does apply to you, okay. 10 of Swords. It's an ending. No, this cycle will not continue. This cycle is done. And perhaps you are done with this cycle. And I think with the World card, I think with the Wheel of Fortune, Death, and the 10 of Swords, I think this thing is over with. Okay. And maybe this is hurting somebody's heart space. Maybe this is something you don't want to accept. Maybe you're putting yourself out there, wanting this to happen. And I don't mean this in the wrong way, but maybe you're giving up way too much of yourself to some person who is not reciprocating. 3 of Pentacles means reciprocation, so maybe this is not happening for you. Maybe you're feeling that used and abused. This could apply to a male. This could apply to a female. It could be, applying to a third party. It also, throuple, polyamorous, polygamous, whatever type relationship. So no judgment here. Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn. You're wondering, right? It's got you in your headspace. You're wondering if the desire that you have is reciprocated. That's what I'm getting from this. Look, with the 7 of Pentacles, you are a manifester. You have stability in your life. You have manifested 6 other things. You've planted a seed of something in hopes. Okay, and now you're just kicked back wondering, is it going to come to fruition? And what I'm feeling with the 10 of Swords that we saw, that's not necessarily the case. It feels like it's over. And perhaps you have not got that news. And maybe that's what's weighing on you. Let's see what else. Okay. What else? What else do they need to know? What else does this person need to know? Me personally, kind of feel like you know what that answer is. You know, and this is maybe just confirmation, okay? It's confirmation that, yeah, it's truly over, and I just don't see anything left in this. With the death card, kind of feels like it's done. Well, you know, I tried to pull one and two more wanted to come out. Makes sense, though. With the Four of Pentacles, you're holding on to it. Okay? Pay attention to that crown chakra up there. Is it that this guy spoils you? This girl spoils you? This person, you know, takes you out, wines and dines you, and you enjoy that part? Who wouldn't, right? The Chariot. Move on. Chariot is a builder, okay? That square on his tunic right there, he builds brick by brick, block by block. He's also very spiritual. He's moved away from the materialistic world that's behind him, and he has the willpower. And something about this tells me that you're wondering, do I have the strength to move away from this situation? Choices and decisions with the black and white sphinx right there, the choices of the good, the evil, but willpower. He doesn't move by. He does not move by. You know. By abusing the reins onto the horses, so to speak. He uses pure willpower. Not to mention the Chariot represents the Cancer card in the Major Tarot. So we could be talking about a Cancer here. Doesn't have to be that case, but that's kind of what I'm getting with that card. And the next one coming out, intuitively speaking, the Queen of Cups shows up. Whenever we know intuitively that we have the gift of foreseeing that which harms us or makes us happy. And in this case, I'm getting the feeling like you're kind of down and out about it in a way. Okay. And then the last card to come out, the Knight of Wands. Normally, I would use this as an example of a new relationship coming in with this romance, right? And however, in this position with the Page of Wands that showed up earlier as well, I'm kind of getting that same deal. It's the romance side that you're looking for. It's I love that feeling of being cherished, valued, and respected. And with these cards, I'm kind of getting that that's not necessarily the case. That you're dealing with somebody, someone, a person, a particular person, that is not really reciprocating that. The emotional, the most valued part of the relationship. Okay, the sex is great, but there's no emotional. There's nothing else there, and I think you know this. I think you do. This is very specific reading, and I appreciate you if you hung on this long. Like I said, if your person is Gemini, Sagittarius, Virgo, or Pisces, and you want to cross watch, I'm going to leave the description at the end of this video so that you can go check that out. I'm working on the fixed sign, so if your person is the fixed sign, that will be coming out. Hopefully by tomorrow, I should have those readings done as well, so you can cross watch to those and see if something like this applies to your person, specific person. So I want to go ahead and stop the reading right here. I want to say this. I want to say I love you. That I think that nobody wants to hear that, like, you know, in a way you're being used, right? But you're enjoying that, right? You're enjoying if this is a sexual kind of relationship, no strings attached, really no seriousness, but I feel like you're reaching for the seriousness of it. We saw the Ten of Swords, we saw death, we saw the World card, we saw the Wheel of Fortune. This cycle is over. Move on. Take what you've learned. With the Chariot, it takes willpower to do that. If moving away from the materialistic side of this relationship, right? It's kind of petty in a way. It's like, you know, I'm willing to let this person just do these things, and then we have a little bit of a good time. But in the end of the day, whenever we've, you know, got our rocks off, uh, there's nothing left in it. It doesn't feel valuable. It doesn't, I don't feel held. I don't feel seen. I don't feel supported. So it's a lacking, right? And nobody deserves that. Treat yourself better. Treat yourself with respect. Love yourself enough to go, it's done. And I've learned something from this. So anyway, I hope that I got the message across. I sometimes can be a little point blank, but the truth is that sugarcoating something for somebody is not helping you. And you're just going to keep on cross watching until you find one of those readings that lines up with you and or matches your interest and watch it. And I don't feel like sometimes that's helpful. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Like I said, I'm going to try to leave the other ones in the ending of this video so you can cross watch if you need to or if you want to. And I hope you come back. I got one more to go. We'll be looking forward to part 4. So anyway, Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn, thanks for stopping in to Steampunk Psyche. We'll see you on number 4.